Hey guys, I am back, and obviously this video isn't going up on Friday because nobody saw that coming. Sorry for the late video, but I am finally done with the 12 pages that I said I was going to do, and so now I'm going to show you what I did. This was actually a lot of fun, but also messier than I thought it was going to be. But I didn't start on the add your own page numbers because I just didn't want to do that. And I took a lot of these pages that I did, like kind of inspiration from other people. I just kind of typed it into Google and took some of the ideas that I saw there. But this is the first one. It's Crack the Spine, and I saw these really awesome ones where they just cracked it all and or made it look like they cracked with pencil or pen. And I just had like a lot of fun. Like I did the big parts, the big cracks first, and those were a little bit hard to completely put in, but once I was good with those, I just started to do the smaller cracks all over, and it was actually a lot of fun. So I am really happy with how that came out. And of course I did crack the spine of the actual book. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but right here I cracked it. So the next one was just leave this page blank on purpose, and I decided to follow the rules and do that, so that one wasn't very, exciting. So the next page is actually still a little bit wet because I did it just a few minutes ago. That's how late I was on this. But it's the stand here and wipe your feet, and I decided to put my shoes in some paint. And this one was extremely messy, and I kind of regretted it almost immediately after I put my feet in the paint. But it turned out pretty cool, and they look like crime scene footprints, so I liked how that one turned out. The next one was pour, spill, drip, spit, fling your coffee here, and obviously I didn't want to spit or fling my coffee on the page because that'd be way too messy. So what I did was actually just draw a mug that was tipped over, and I took some coffee that I had, soaked it up in a tissue, and then I kind of just patted it all across the page there. And then I didn't film it, but I did color in the cup, and I kind of made it look like a table behind it. So that one was pretty cute. I really did like it, and it turned out pretty well. The next page is the poke holes in this page using a pencil, and I made it look like there was pencils going into the holes. And I just went for the traditional colors of a pencil, and then I put on the other side, which I didn't film, but I put on the other side, the pencil is mightier than the sword. Since people usually say, the pen is mightier than the sword, I decided to be clever, if you can call it that. The next one was draw fat lines and thin. This one, I was going to try to be all artsy and cool and draw a wolf on it using, fat and thin lines, but I really can't draw that well. So I decided to just go with what it says and draw fat lines and thin lines. And after I was done drawing my lines, I decided to color in just a few of these shapes that it made. But I thought it turned out pretty cool. It looks almost like a stained glass window. So I was happy with that, how that one turned out. The next page was for handprints, and this one is another one that I immediately regretted because I thought I was going to be all cool and use chalkboard paint on my hands and just kind of stick them onto the page. But I didn't realize just how quickly chalkboard paint dries. And I literally spent about 10 minutes just trying to scrub away the paint on my hands, and I do have a little cut on my thumb. You can see where I left some paint there because I just couldn't scrub over my cut there. And it just it was extremely messy, and just I still have some paint on my hands from it. But it's another one that turned out pretty well. Unfortunately, the next page did leak onto this one, so it's kind of messy looking, but it's alright. My, journal doesn't have to be perfect, obviously. The next page, I was extremely happy with how it came out. It's color this entire page, and I saw this on Google as well. Someone had drawn the night sky and put a forest underneath, and since I do like wolves and forests, I decided to go with that. And the top part of it, I used a actual I used a marker to color in very black because I made the mistake of actually giving my crayons to my nephews to use, and they lost and broke many of them. So I had no black crayon in the set anymore. And then I just used a very dark blue and then a lighter blue on that. And then I took a little knitting needle that I randomly had in my drawer and decided to dot the stars all over. But instead it actually kind of looked like it is snow instead. So, you know, you can take it either way you can, or either way you want. Either way I like it, and I'm really happy with how this page turned out. Next one was also a very messy one, and it's the page where you throw things dipped in paint in it, and it turned out very messy, but it's also very cool. I tried dipping an eraser in paint and a pencil in paint, and they just flung off and of course landed in the carpet, of course, of all things, when I put paper bags everywhere, and they just decided to just bounce completely off of the wall and land in the carpet. But the thing that I actually found that worked the most, surprisingly, was a matchbox. And so I just dipped that in a bunch of paint, stuck it on there, and it did really well. And then I wasn't quite getting the results that I wanted, so I just instead I decided to just put the actual paint bottles and just squirt the paint onto there. And then I took the whole thing and squished it. And so that is how it ended up turning out. So that's pretty cool. It looks like I meant for it to be that way. The next one is press leaves and other things, and pretty much I did just go out in my front yard and find plants and things, and I didn't film this one because it wasn't really that exciting. It was just me picking up leaves. And then the other one I put on here was the tissue that I used for the coffee page, and I just stuck it on there, and I did tape them down so that they can just stay in place. And this one is a plant that's growing right outside my window, and so I decided to take a leaf, and I did this today as well, so they're still very much like alive. And then this one here is from the butterfly bush that we have. I wish that it was blooming so that I could have grabbed one of the blossoms, but unfortunately it's not yet. And then this one is just a random weed that's growing in my yard, but I thought it looked kind of cool with its top here, so I did that. And then here is the coffee soaked tissue. I'm like excited with how many of these pages turned out, and this one's also one, and it's scratched this with a sharp object. And I saw one where a girl had just like really scratched it and it looked almost like it was just faded, and so I tried to achieve that look, and it turned out alright. It could have turned out better, but I really like how it is, and the texture is like really awesome. So that was that one. And this will be my fail page of the entire book probably, and it's the do rubbings with a pencil. And it just didn't turn out how I wanted it to, and you can barely see anything that I tried to rub the pencil over, but you know, it turned out alright, I guess. So that is the complete 12 pages that I did. I'm sorry again that this video is late, but I mean, I'm always putting up videos late. And next time you'll get to see that I'm going to decorate the front, and I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but next Friday, I promise I will get it up on Friday, that you will see the next 12 pages and the front of the book I'm going to be doing. And also, as I go, I can add, obviously, more to the pages I've already done. So if you like this video, give it a like and comment down below about some maybe more ideas you have for the rest of the pages, or if you've done one of these journals, tell me what you've done. And don't forget to subscribe to see the rest of the pages and other videos I put up, and I will see you next time. Bye.